Hello guys, it's Alex again. Welcome to another video. Okay, today I'm not really sure what I can tell you. I have made 0 trades today. It's not because there weren't any opportunities. In fact, I missed a bunch of really good opportunities because I was scared. So, what can I tell you? I can tell you that scared money doesn't win. It's a saying among traders. And I definitely felt that today. I was scared, I didn't take trades, and I could have made, even with my extremely low risk tolerance at the moment, or buying extremely low amounts of shares, just 100 shares of stock, I could have made several hundreds of dollars today. Just like that. I could have made it if I hadn't been too scared. Exacerbating my fear was my initial nervousness, let's say, was the fact that when these opportunities started to open, it went so fast, I had no time to react. And by the time I thought about reacting, it was too late. So this is what happened today. Ending up no trades, 0 loss, which is good, but 0 win either. Okay, anyway. Before I go into the explanation of the trades that I looked at, because there are some lessons that can be drawn from that, I have to say that I forgot to record the beginning of the session. I came onto my computer a little bit late, and I just forgot to start my recording software, and then hence we missed the first push, the first opportunity that arose, which was CODX. So in order to get this past this, because I have no live footage of me looking at this, we're gonna have to look at the chart. But as we can see, CODX, let me start off by saying that CODX was trading heavily before the market opened. You can see it already had a very nice rise here in the 1-minute chart. It had a very nice steady rise up until 9:30, and that was because it had several million, I think it was 3 or 4 million shares of volume. Now 3 or 4 million is a lot. You can see on my watch list here that almost all stocks trade under 3 million. There's one at 5 million, which traded a lot. Some stocks not even trade a million. This one I was looking at 167,000. Other stocks, let me see, which one is it? 230,000. NFEC made quite a good move today. Yet it was on very low volume. So seeing anything with 3 or 4 million is already rare in a day, and seeing something with 3 or 4 million before the day even started is extremely rare. That was one thing that got me a little bit worried about this stock in the beginning, because if something is trading so heavily before the market opens, it's going to trade even heavier when it opens. And a heavily traded stock can go very quickly, can be extremely volatile, and given it had already risen, there's a high chance of it falling, because it had already risen quite a lot. In fact, it had already risen more than 100%. You can see right now it's at 116%, and it's lower. It's way below its trading price when the market opened. It's a good, what is this? Low 316, low $3. It's a good 50-60 cents below its market opening price. Sorry, we can check here. It opened at 321 and now it's at 240.44. So like it's already 70-80 cents below its opening price, which tells you that by the opening price it was up way more percent, like I don't know, maybe 200%. On the close of the previous day. So this is an immense rise already, and the chance of it falling is just pretty high. Anyway, I was looking at it, and let me try to keep my hand on this one. This is not the one. Low 316, just at 9:30. Oh, I gotta get to 9:30. Okay, now calm hand. I missed it. Oh, this is very difficult. 9:30. Here we go. Okay, it's gone again. Why does it not stay here? 9:30. You can see, let me just say it real quick. The low 295, high 330. What happened was that it started at 321. It started fading towards $3, and I was thinking, okay, maybe if it stays above 290, I might go in for just just trying it out for the $3 break over the $3 again, since it already had reached that level before. However, because it was just at the market opening, I didn't do it. I was afraid that it might fall. It hit 295, that was the low, and then it really immediately went back over 3, and then within just a few seconds, it hit a high of 340? Let me see. 350. No. Where is it again? 330. It hit a high of 330 in just a couple of seconds. It then started fading a little bit again, but then very quickly in the next minute go up to 350. And then a little bit later, around, what is this? 9:48, it went to a high of 377, but that was already too late. I mean, that was already it was going too choppily, so it was too late for finding a good entry, and then it just kept fading for the rest of the day. So I missed recording that. I hope my explanations were clear enough. It went really fast, and it just was very choppy and ended up fading for the rest of the day. So that was just to start this video, and now we can look at a couple of stocks that I was following, but that didn't end up giving me a sign that something might happen. There were quite a few of those. We can start here with Craig. Open Craig. Now, if you look at Craig, you can see that it started rising pretty early on, like it went from a low of 96 cents, to 116, and then eventually to 125. It was rising quite quickly here, and coming above $1 is a good sign. Hitting 120 is a good sign. And to get a little more confidence in it, I was just waiting for it to get to a more stable level. But as you can see, it hit 125 and then had a long drop to 110 again, and then slowly crept back up, but not higher than 120 or 122, and it just ended up not breaking that level again. So I decided not to buy into this. What was happening, to give you a little bit more detail, and that is true for all the stocks that I will talk about in the next few minutes. What the fuck is happening? It's again being halted. Oh my god, I'm going to talk about SXTC a lot today. That was my biggest missed opportunity. But before I go into that, let me finish Craig. The thing is, what happens when these stocks reach a certain high and then just kind of hover at that level and don't ever get anywhere is because there are always sellers at these psychological levels, like at the full dollar, at 110, 120, 125. These good, easy to remember numbers are psychological resistance levels. And you can see in the level 2, which is this part right here, you can see how many buyers are currently making offers and how many sellers are making bids or making offers to sell. And there were always more selling orders than buying orders. So there was no chance for this to break above that level because it always had to satisfy these selling limits. Now that was true for Craig. That was also true for AWSM. We'll just look at it quickly. In fact, it was true above all the ones that I'm going to talk about in the next few minutes. AWSM was not traded too thickly today. It has only 223,000 shares in volume, which is not so much over the whole day. And you can see it was rising quite a lot at 9:30 to a high of 296 almost at 9:39, and then it just started fading and slowly fading ever more. This AWSM had reached this is, let me 9:30. Let's look at this chart. Yes, the thing is, it had crossed $3 yesterday, and I was hoping that it might cross $3 again. However, it didn't. And again, we can see that it just started hovering and red candle after red candle because there were more sellers than buyers. Another one that I was actually hoping on a little bit is CCCL. Which you can see, it also had quite a sharp rise right off the bat. Actually, not right off the bat, this is 942. It rose and it ultimately reached a high of 197. Again, this was one of those stocks that I was watching to break over $2. I think it broke $2. Yes, it broke $2 a couple of days ago. So if it had broken that again, there was an opportunity for it to go at least to the previous highest, which is 230. So a little bit of money you can make on this one. However, it ended up never breaking that again because there were too many sellers. PYDS was another one I was watching. And PYDS similarly reaching a psychological level of 247, which was the high of the day. And then dropping and testing it again, retesting it, always retesting it. You can see it now here in the level 2. There are 5,000 shares being sold at 248, another 1,000 at 248. Sorry, 6,000 shares being sold at 248. And there are just not as many. There are 3,000 being bought at 246 and 1,000 at 237. But these numbers are smaller. So this one will continue testing this as buyers slowly come in, but it will never reach this. And SXTC is breaking $8 now. This is ridiculous. I might just, I don't know if I want to try this one again. It's really irrationally strong today. It started, sorry for the what's it called, digression. It started at a low of $5. In fact, today it started at a very low of $4.10, just $4, and now it's at $8. That's 100% in one day, which is very incredible. Okay, I'll just keep watching this. I could have made so much money. The first time I was looking at this was at 477, and I even made an order at 477 twice. It never got filled. And then I ended up missing it, going all the way to 581, getting halted, coming out of the halt, going a little bit of sideways, then going into a halt again. I will talk about this briefly when we move on. Let me quickly go on PYDS. I already talked about. We have JVA, which I was losing money big time on yesterday. I think it started quite high. There was an opportunity for it to a high of 608. Yesterday I got in at 604 and had to get out at 540. Made a huge loss at this one. This one today I could have sold, and I could have at least recuperated my investment, coming out with zero loss. But it ended up just touching it and then never looking back. So again, no chance. We're reaching the end. There's EKSO that I was looking at a little bit earlier, and you can see it again before the market, pre-market, it rose dramatically from, what is this? This is nothing. Here, from 175 to 220, and then it just started fading slowly again. Now there are actually some buyers coming in. Quite a lot of buyers at 83. What is this? 18,000 shares at 186. That's immense. I don't think. Well, maybe it'll rise again, but I don't really think so. That would be so strange timing for that. Moving on to the last one in this list, FRSX, that I was also watching. Early on, it had a good amount of volume pre-market, and it had a catalyst, meaning it covered the catalyst was the news, which said that it had paid back all debt. So it was coming out of debt, which is kind of good news. I was thinking, so I was watching it. I don't know why the chart isn't loading. Yeah, I really don't know why the chart isn't loading. This is strange. Here we go. It had good volume pre-market. Oh, okay. As I left the market, it started some moves up to a high of 240. This was interesting. When I watched it, the high was, I think, 222. What is this? 209, 210. What is this? 213. Oh yeah, 217. It had reached 217 and then faded. But here we see at 11, it actually got some more volume, which I missed. That was while I was preparing this video. So anyway, with some exceptions, all of these stocks I was looking at kept fading and never looked back. Now let's go into the two opportunities that I missed. This one is a smaller opportunity, NFEC. We can look at that in the video. Just got to go full screen and play. We see here that I just started looking at this one, and it had a okay amount of volume, but it had done a dramatic fall, as you can see, all the way from $9 down to, excuse me, I'm looking at the daily chart. The daily chart actually goes up to $25. So you can see that it definitely has a lot of potential. And it had just made a dramatic move downwards. So it is possible that this might bounce back from the very bottom. We see high volume. That's a good sign. We see some buyer coming in here. That's also a good sign. However, I wasn't sure because it could have fallen more. You know, I don't really know. I haven't seen this kind of setup before. I didn't know how to deal with this, and hence I didn't do anything. We can come back later into this one. In fact, let me pause this. I end up not doing anything. I'm looking at this, I'm analyzing it, but I'm not sure. And if we look at the chart, you can see it did at some point at 10, it did do that bounce back from a low of 633. It went slowly all the way to 739. So it did $1, which is solid. And that would have been a good opportunity, especially given that it kind of went slowly. You know, you could have easily found an entry, but I wasn't watching it. So I didn't see that opportunity coming. And by the time I watched it again, it had already made that move. So then it was a bit too late to do anything, to go into this. And now we come to the main topic of today, which pinpoints the title of this video, Scared Money Doesn't Win. You can see it, and let me open it. Sorry, let me open it here. We can look at it. It's already open here, but let's look at a couple more charts. And in the video, let me go to 2645. So I was just opening this one up because it started rising. You can see here that it had just made quite a big move from $4.60 up to $5. And I was watching it for a pullback, and then a sign that it's going to break $5 again, or specifically $5.10. I wasn't sure. I really wasn't sure about this. I was just watching it, and I was watching it for quite a long time. I was looking at the at the chart, and I see there was a recent IPO. You can see there's not too many bars. There's not too many bars, meaning it just came out early January, and it started off at a pretty high price. Let me see if I pause this video and go into Chrome, and we can see that it opened at $17.60, went to a high of $23.35 and a low of $6.81. So an insane range, but it just came out January 10th. Is this forming another flag pattern? Should I get into this one? I don't want to miss this again because it did incredible moves. It's again at 8. High is 8:39. What time is it? It's just about the full hour. 12 o'clock. Yeah, there we go. Fuck, see, I missed it again. Like 29, 13. I could have gotten in at 79, in the 90s, $7, but I didn't. And now it's at 8:28 again. 8:33. Oh, this is just dreadful today. This is just so dreadful. I'm not really sure what I should do. Should I? Let me pause the video. Alright, my apologies. I paused there and did do one trade on SXTC. Unfortunately, I well, no, I made $5, even though I could have made a little bit more. However, I got a decent entry, and I sold 3 times in 3 batches, and the first 2 batches were just badly timed. I kind of got out at first a little bit above my buy and then a little bit below my buy, and then the last one was okay. It was decently timed, so I ended up making a little bit of profit. And so far, it's since then, which is like 5 minutes ago, it's been going sideways. So I'll just continue the video, finish it here, and then go back and see, and maybe I'll have good news tomorrow. We will see. Okay, anyway, we were watching SXTC, and it had just made the high at 510, and I was looking for maybe getting into this one, but I was uncertain. And as you can see, let me just go back real quick a second. This is a little bit, but is it playing or not? It is playing. Ah, yeah. I'm sorry. I don't know if you saw this. It dropped quite a lot. In fact, it dropped all the way to 466 to its previous to the what's it called? The open of its previous bar, and then it was going back to 510, back below 5, to 5, a little bit below. It ended up going like this for a while, and we can check 28, just a little bit. Actually, we've almost reached that. 10 more seconds. Can I jump 10 seconds in this one? It doesn't matter. Let's keep watching. Here you can see I was starting to type in orders because I thought, okay, this might be good. And I started typing in 470, but I hesitated with the buying. 472, I was a bit unsure, and then it jumped to 480, and then back down. Now let me go to 31. Let's just look at this chart right here for a moment. There is my hand getting in the way. I was checking the individual bars for highs and lows. You can see that there is a triangular shape forming, and that is a flag. It's a flag. A flag is forming on the 1 minute chart, and it keeps going back and forth. And this flag, again, I am not sure. Here we can see I did set an order at 472. I end up canceling it, and then setting another one at 477, but I always set it too low, so it never gets filled. And I end up being too scared to buy into it at a higher level. So I end up not doing anything. Now, it keeps going like this for quite a long time. There's another order, but we're going to skip my orders because nothing happened. I'm sorry, where am I? 46. Yes, you can see I had SXTC open in another chart. Let me go back 1 second. And here it had just started rising, and you can see, okay, let me go back a little bit and let me try to zoom in so that it's easier to see. Bam, from 5, the movement is annoying, to 546, from 5, like 10 to 546, to 554, to 563, in 1 second steps. So fast, I couldn't react. And then 580, 566 again, 579, 580, 580, 560, 580, 570. It stays there. The halting level is at 581. Bam. We reach 581. It's halted. You can see it's halted. Buying orders are coming in. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm in the zooming phase. Let me get out. It's halted. Orders were coming in. Let me go back because I think we missed a little bit. Yes, here. Look at the orders. 212. Add 2 zeros. 21,000, 15,000, 10,000 orders for 581, but none of them getting filled because it just got stopped. So I'm regretting this because just as a couple of days ago I was seeing something like this happening. I didn't get in. I got in on the second one and I lost a lot of money. So I knew looking at this that, okay, it's probably going to come out of the halt higher and it's going to do another push a little bit higher. But it might be a push higher and then start fading, just like the one that I did a couple of days ago where I lost money. So I was regretting not getting in because I did try, but I didn't dare get in. Now, it resumes after 5 minutes. 52.21. Here we are looking at the possible resumption. It does resume. It immediately goes to $6, comes back down to 580, back up to 6, back down to 580. Now it's around 580, 590. It keeps, it's like uncertainly around this. Bam! See, I missed it again. This is what happens. You look away 1 second, and then let's look at the 1 minute chart. Bam, 639, 640, in just one sudden jump. It's ridiculous. It goes down to 6, 621, 610, 620, 610, 615. It's forming this. Let's move on in the video a little bit because it's becoming too late. It's getting too late. 54. 45, 693, 692, 693. It's almost, you can see it's starting to become red here. It almost gets into a circuit breaker halt. It doesn't because it just touches it, but it doesn't go beyond that. So it doesn't jump into the circuit breaker halt. However, it did keep rising. Again, I'm scared of this. I'm just not going into it. In fact, in a few minutes, in a few seconds, I'm looking to see, okay, can I short this? Is there a possibility that I can short this? Because I'm sure it's going to come down at some point. I start looking for shorts, but there are no shares available. As I explained in a previous video, these letters NS stand for no shares available to short. And if it's a green S, it means there are shares available to short. So I couldn't short this, and as you can see, it would have been nice because maybe I could have gotten in around 680 or something, and would have already been in the green. However, I didn't. I couldn't do that. In another few minutes, 57.50 in about 1 minute. Skipping there. It did rise, as I hear. If you saw this, it's red again. It just rose quickly into the halt, into the next halt going up. And it took some time. I'm so frustrated with this one. Now, let me pause here, because at this point in time, I was already giving up trading this. And also, I think my video is getting a little bit long. It's already 30 minutes. Yeah. My videos are getting longer instead of shorter. This is the 1 minute chart, but this is too short. If we look at this chart, it actually fell. It broke down, and I believe it got short. It got halted on the way down, even. No, it did not. It just crept slowly downwards. So it did not get stopped. Did not get halted on the way down. It just got halted twice on the way up. Then started fading, going sideways, but finding support at the $6 level, which is quite impressive given it started the day at $4. So finding support at $6, solid support, rising a little bit, finding more support at $6.50, and then doing another jump up and another circuit breaker halt. And ever since it's been holding quite steadily around $8, like $7.80 at the very least. It was for quite some time. It was above $8. Now it's just slightly below $8. So we might see another rise coming here today. I will keep watching after the video, but for now I will stop. The lesson of today is that scared money doesn't win sometimes. When things rise so fast, it's really hard to find the right entry. And it is like, in the way, it's good to that I didn't lose any money, but in the bad sense today, I did see these opportunities possibly happening, and they did happen. So my intuition was right, and it's just that my fear stopped me. Let's see. The thing is, I want to talk about the strategy that I'm doing. I'm essentially doing momentum trading, which means I'm looking for stocks that are showing immediate action right now. And the goal is to get in at the right time and get out at the right time. It's inherently a high speed and slightly risky strategy, because every trade, there's a chance that it might go, but there's a chance it might not. So it really is crucial that you get in at the right time and get out at the right time, more importantly. This strategy, actually, I can go into NFEC, yes, NFEC, for a comparison. So the momentum trading strategy is for extremely quick reaction timing, and you have to be really fast. Now the other strategy you can do is like doing more technical analysis, bottom bounces, high bounces, that kind of stuff. They are inherently more longer term, as you can see here in NFEC. It reached the bottom and it went sideways for a little bit, and then it bounced back a little bit. Now that is something that I could have done. It is over a period of 15 minutes, 20 minutes. But, this is outside of my strategy that I'm looking at. So that's why I couldn't react on this one. It would have been an opportunity, but I missed it because it's not my style. So in the end, what you realize is there are so many different strategies. You can do swing trading. You can do this kind of trading. You can do momentum style trading. You can do short trading. There's a lot of there's options. There's lots of different things. You cannot possibly learn everything. You need to focus on one thing that appeals to you, that you think could be good for, that could be your style. If you're very bold and you like to take risks, then momentum style trading is maybe your thing. If you're a bit more on the conservative side, then maybe you will go into swing trading, where you analyze the charts and you buy something thinking that over the next few weeks or days, weeks or months it will rise. You will analyze the entire market more, and then you will invest and go a lot slower. Now, these are entirely different strategies, and you have to find the one that appeals most to you. So, that being said, that would be a lesson today. I'm sorry again for 35 minutes. If you've made it this far, thank you so much. Please let me know. If you've made it this far, please let me know in the comments what I should have left out, where I went into too much detail, if the order of my explanations has been wrong. Tell me what you think I could have done better, and I will make sure to improve. That being said, have a good day, and I'll see you next time.